Hello guys, and welcome back to DocMack Garage, and today what I'm going to show you is how to replace the engine air filter on your Mercedes-Benz E350. This particular one is a 2006 model, however it will work on any Mercedes-Benz 3.5 litre V6 as long as you have the engine with the code M272. This will work 100% for you. Now you can purchase either Mercedes-Benz ones or aftermarket ones. However, if you do it yourself, you'll save a lot of time from paying people the labor to actually do it. Or if you do it at the dealership, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So might as well do it. Without further ado, let's get into it. You do need two pieces, two identical ones on either side. So this is a Ryco brand. I've gone aftermarket, and this is a A1678 model, and it will fit the Mercedes-Benz E350 with the M272 engine. Just need to grab hold of it and pull. Pop the bonnet open now, pull, and then lift up. Alright guys, so there we have our M272 engine. Now the hood struts on this vehicle is not very strong, so I'm going to hold it up with one hand. Now what I do recommend is make sure to do it when the engine is stone cold. Now what you're going to do is just going to lift up on this cover. Both sides there should be a peg holding it, and you should be able to lift it away. So the next thing right here is you've got your two air suction ducts going in here. So being a V6, it's got two banks, one bank on this side, one bank on this side. This one's got two air intakes. So what you're going to do first is you're going to grab on this and try to pull backwards. Try to twist and pull. That was a little stuck, but it came out. You're going to give it a bit of a twist and a pull, like so. Okay, so you have got a metal piece in the back right here, and you're going to push it backwards like so. Okay, now you have got your secondary air injection pump right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to lift it up like so. Okay, so with the secondary air injection pump, you just need to remove this one. Now these are pegs holding it down. Okay. Alright, so now we should be able to lift that one away. It's a bit heavy, so bear that in mind. So I'm going to take it like this. That's the best way to actually take it out. And there you have it. Alright guys, so this is where the two air filters are actually housed. So this is where it goes into the air intake. And this is where the suction happens. Here and here, that's where it happens. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your T25 screwdriver. There's your T25s are right here, 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 and here. You just need to get them undone. You don't need to undo them all the way, as long as it can open, and you should be good. Okay, so now we should be able to take that one apart, and we can see how dirty it is. Okay, that's the one. Okay, and that is the second air filter. Now it is fairly dirty, not the worst that I've seen, but I would recommend changing it anyway. Doesn't cost an arm and a leg. If you're going with aftermarket, that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. You can see that it is quite dirty on the inside. Okay, so with the same thing over here, I'm going to give it a good clean. Now aftermarket doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. Even buying it from the dealership, it should cost you about, for me, it's around 190 New Zealand dollars. But I only paid like 40 bucks for these two Ryco filters. Now Ryco in general, most mechanics use it in the mechanics shop. Shouldn't be too bad a brand. So now that I've given both sides a good clean down, now I'm going to reinstall the new filter. Now one thing I do want to mention is that you have to make sure that your hands are clean when you're fitting the new filter. You don't want to introduce any crud into this area. Okay, and just clean the secondary air injection pump hole as well. what we're going to do now is we're going to refit it on here and make sure that it does give a good seal down on. Yeah, that's looking good to me. Make sure that you don't see any more orange color tabs, so you want to make sure that it sits down quite nicely. Okay, so what you're going to do now is we're going to push it back down here. Okay, and then I'm going to put the screws back on that one, and the same for the other side as well. Alright guys, so you want to make sure that this sits in and these tabs actually sit in. So there's 4 different tabs that is got to sit in. Alright guys, let's fit the cover back now. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the snorkel is out of the way. So you want to make sure you move that like so. So now what you want to do is you want to put your secondary air injection hose back into its original position like so. Like so. Okay, both arrows have to line up right here, as you can see in the notch. I'll take a photo for you. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to try to find this position so they can push it down, and then the back one has got to clip in. So now that we have got these clips down, this one back into place. So what I did notice is that once you fit the cover, you have to finagle the back of the cover in order for it to sit into the suction duct. Now before you fully fit it in, you have to make sure that your secondary air injection pump is fitted back in. Now these 2 arrows have to line up right here. Now normally it would be a bit more easier because you could take this whole thing out. However, on my side it's a little bit brittle, so I decided not to. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to put this suction duct back in, and on this side as well. Okay, so that should be good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the remaining cover on, and this cover just goes on over here like this. Before you put it on, make sure you check that it's properly seating in. Yep, looks to be fine to me. There's, yep, it's nice and tight, and then you're going to put this cover back on like so. All right, and that is job done. All right guys, lastly what I'd like to do is take a bit of degreaser and spray it on here like so. Take a damp rag and just wipe over it, and make it look nice and clean. And the final thing you want to do before you close the engine bay is to give it a start up. And now what you're going to do is you're going to listen for any engine noises, any weird whistling sounds, which could indicate an air leak. So all is looking fine to me right now. Yep, as you can see, that was the secondary air injection pump that he heard. Seems fine. Alright guys, and there you have it. That's how you replace the engine air filter on a Mercedes-Benz E350 2006 or any Mercedes-Benz V6 engine, which is the M272 engine. This process will work perfectly fine for you. Hope this video has been useful and informative. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.